I'm going to be doing a pick a card reading today. As always, these are timeless. Please use your intuition when picking your particular pile. If you don't feel drawn to any, then check one of my other timeless pick a card readings. Or just look at the YouTube recommended videos down below. Maybe someone else has a video that's going to resonate with you more. Sorry, you just heard me swallow. I'm drinking water. Okay, pile number one, we're going to use the Nine of Pentacles. Pile number two is Strength. Pile number three is the Lovers. Oh, I didn't mention what this reading is on, is what do you have to look forward to? Or what is something that's going to be happening for you guys that's going to be really exciting or really positive for you guys? So, number one, number two, number three. Hi, pile number one. So, what I see for you all so far. So when I think of the Nine of Pentacles, this card always comes up when I'm thinking about a person. This represents to me someone who other people see as independent, sophisticated, charming, witty, capable. They don't have a lot of hang-ups, or there's someone who, like, they know what they want, they go after it. I think also people compare themselves to you. Like, you're the person that, like, they're like, oh, well, I could never be as brave as them, or I could never live by myself because I don't make enough as they do, or I get too scared to be by myself or travel by myself. So people really use you as a model person for how they would want their lives to be. And a lot of times you're a source of inspiration for people. So it's not just you. It's interesting because that can be a lonely place to be, right? Being a leader or being someone that people hold on a pedestal can sometimes be lonely, because if they don't see you as an equal, they don't treat you as an equal, right? Maybe they relate themselves to other people, so then you feel isolated. And I think this is something that you're coming into a deeper awareness to. And it's actually, the shift in perspective is going to make you really happy, because you understand from another perspective that people really admire you, and maybe from understanding them more, you can kind of change the way that you interact with people. I mean, it's up to them on how they want to perceive you and treat you and speak to you. By no means did you dull yourself, but I think this is also a way to empower yourself, because you're like, you know what? I am myself, and I'm free to be myself, and maybe there was a part of me that felt like I was defective because I was isolated, or because I was like being held at a place where I felt I could never maintain that position in people's minds. And people probably see you as being really mysterious, and then they have a huge wake-up call whenever they actually get to know you and they realize, my goodness, there's so much depth to them, even more than just this one way that I was seeing them. It catches people off guard, probably is a little bit intimidating, because they have to restructure their entire mindset of how they see you. And so I feel like what's coming to you again is a shift of perspective. It's a deepening of perspective where you're taking time to reflect on yourself and reflect on the way that different relationships evolved in your life. And it makes a lot more sense when you come from a place of confidence, because I think it's in some ways the way that people had treated you started to develop some sort of complex in your mind of like, maybe there's something wrong with me, when in fact there's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with you. You're one in a million. You're one in a million, and like, you see things differently than other people do. You react in life and you act in life, and just the way that you live your life is so different from other people. You're so focused, and sometimes you're so isolated on purpose, and you're confident in being by yourself. That confuses people sometimes. They don't know how to read you. They don't know how to understand you, because a lot of people, they find a lot of joy and happiness with being with others so much, or being able to relate to others, feeling like they're less than. And so then you get what I'm saying. So that's essentially what I see, is a deepening of compassion for other people, a deepening of understanding for other people, and that they're not coming from a negative place. They're not coming from a place that they don't like you and they don't appreciate you. It's the fact that they do really appreciate and like you and listen to what you have to say, but then they feel like they just don't feel good about themselves. Sometimes, they don't feel good about themselves around you because of holding you in such high regard. They see you as the world. A lot of people see you as having it all, and what do you need them for, right? Like, it feels like, how can they contribute to your life if you you're locked away in your mind sometimes, is what I see. And it's a interesting way that you communicate with your spirit, and with the spiritual realm, and how you give to others and give back to others. That's what I'm getting. I have an emphasis. Let me find, I'm going to look for something. 1 second, because I feel like it's important, but I'm trying to think of why it keeps coming into my head. It's in a book, but let me see if I can find it really quick. I don't know. I can't figure it out. It doesn't matter. Let me try and meditate on this for a second. So you're mastering the ability to be compassionate with other people, and you're mastering things within your own life. It's an evolution of success, okay? And realizing on a different, it's a perspective shift. That's what you have to look forward to, is a perspective shift. Because when I see the I see the 5 of Pentacles, I'm thinking ahead to the 3 of Pentacles. And then from that to skipping towards the 9 of Pentacles. And so, again, it's this realization, I am not without. I am not lonely. I'm not by myself. And I've always known that. I've always felt confident in that. But it didn't make sense why people would feel intimidated by me. And maybe you would dull yourself, or you would feel like you had to be a certain way in order to make friends. Maybe it doesn't have to be as intense as that, But there are some aspects of yourself that I feel that you've held yourself back on. And it's because you were having this internal mental battle of, is there something wrong with me? When in fact it's the exact opposite. So this is confirmation for you. And I feel that what's changing for you is that you're going to really sit with that and feel that and know that and conduct your life in a way where you aren't holding yourself back and you are fully engaged and happy and present in the moment, knowing your full value. And that's going to bring in people who are on your level and higher, not necessarily in the sense of like anyone's better than anyone, but in the sense of how they perceive themselves and how they perceive other people. Because you want to be around people that don't look at you as if you're competition, or don't look at you as if you're better than them, because then they might end up treating you a certain way that is not in your best interest, because they feel like you have it all, right? If you have it all and they have little, then what's it to them to take from you in some ways, or to not give you as much in some ways, whether this is some tangible thing or an emotional thing, however it applies to you. And so that's what I see coming in for you. Let's pull a little bit more. I heard the word blueberries in my mind, blueberries, with no other context other than just like actual blueberries. Maybe that's a message for someone out there. Yeah. Beautiful. This is exciting. Okay. So this is a short reading. It's essentially you walking away from what no longer serves you. And I feel like you're the messenger here. It's like, it's hard for people to accept, because once you release certain people in your life that has been holding you back, because they hold you to a different standard and then treat it. Honestly, not everyone that I'm referring to in your life is a mean-spirited, but it kind of does seem like there are some secret haters in your life that they want to keep you close, and there's some satisfaction in seeing you shrink down, because then they feel like they just feel better about themselves, because seeing you shine will make them feel worse. It'll make them feel like it's almost like this realization that they were never on your level to begin with. And so you being around them, being in their field, makes them feel like there's how they perceive you, right? So you deciding for yourself, listen, I need to make a change in my life. I feel like I need to restore this balance within myself and be fair to myself and do right by myself, because I know who I am. I know what I'm capable of, and I know what I deserve in my life. And whether that hurts other people or not. I'm going to be me, and I'm going to pursue the things that I want, and I'm not going to hold myself back, and I'm not going to let other people make me feel bad about my decisions. And in turn, that's going to make you extremely happy, because it's going to be day and night, all because of this perspective change of how people treat you, who you allow into your life, like the boundaries that you set for people who are allowed in your life, and how they talk to you and how they treat you. And there's going to be an influx of opportunities and people coming in that you haven't met them yet. These are people you haven't met. There are some that you are aware of and they're aware of you. There hasn't been full conversations with these people. But it'd be like, an example is if you are, like, let's say you're on social media and you are wanting to be an influencer, but you've been holding yourself back. Like, this is just a little example, but there are influencers or companies that you want to work with. And so you're going to step out and say, you know what, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to do it. And you will be recognized. And you will get these opportunities for you, okay? So that's what I see coming forward for you guys in relatively near future, okay? And thank you so much for watching. Bye. Hi, pile number 2. So this is going to be your reading. What do you have coming in for you? What good surprises are coming in for you? So far, I am seeing this full-blown recognition of how bold of a personality you have. I feel like you do things that other people normally would not, because you trust your intuition, you trust your judgment. You go with what you feel is needs to happen for you. Maybe even just like you do things that are unexpected, like like you would shift the way that you do things in life, just completely 180, and it seems so unplanned or spontaneous or just random to other people. But what they don't realize is that you have been making plans to do it, and it's well executed in the way that you make these shifts in your life. And so I feel like the divine is rewarding you. Okay, something is coming in for you where you're going to do something that, again, is seemingly random, but it is intuitively guided, right? And you are aware of this. You're feeling this pull to do something, and it ends up really, really paying off. For some of you, I feel like you're going to be moving somewhere, okay? It's going to be like an actual physical relocation, or you're going to be traveling somewhere. And this vacation or this trip is going to change the way that you live your life, or change the way that you perceive things. Or maybe there's something that you've been holding back on about yourself, especially intuitively, where you going to this place is going to strengthen your intuition even more than it already is. You're going to feel a lot, like even more confident in who you are, because there's going to be this important, it's almost like divine intervention, but it's more of like a divine message. It'd be like hearing the voice of God, or seeing an angel, a guardian angel, when you go to this other place. It feels a lot like, it kind of reminds me of, this is what came out, Spirit Fox, trust your talents in changing times. So, and it feels very like this, the fox is very slick They're very slick, they're very smart, they're very attuned to their environment, what's going on in their environment, and intelligent, and they're actually very kind. Foxes are very, very kind. And so there's new information that's going to be coming in for you. That's what you have to look forward to. I feel like it's almost like a downtown is what I'm seeing. A really nice downtown with a harbor, with like, it kind of reminds me of New Orleans, or it reminds me of like some of the places in Texas, North Carolina, like all these places where, or Seattle, where it has a long-standing history, and there's like a body of water nearby, and there's just like, it's rich in culture, and the people there are like, I don't know what you would call them, like not folky, like folk, but they're just like, they have a distinct personality, like the people that live in that downtown area. So that's what I'm seeing there so far. Okay, so let's see, we'll use this. It feels like you're finally deciding on a new path in your life. And again, it's going to seem to other people very, very spontaneous, but to you, this has been well thought out, and it's going to feel so intense, and you know it's not impulsive, even though it feels or looks impulsive, but your guardian angels are pushing you towards that, and you've spent so much of your time, it feels like you're fighting the lower levels of your life, like you're fighting against like like your fears, right? Like your ego. You've been really trying to hone in on your spirituality and following the voice of spirit, rather than falling into these lower levels of fear, of worry, of concern, of holding yourself back. And so all of this practice is setting forth this major life change for you. Yeah. And then we have this at the bottom, which is, for me, it's rapid, it's fast. And wait, I'm saying it as if you don't see this coming, because you're not going to expect this feeling inside of you. You're not going to expect the intensity that occurs here. But it does feel like, it's this feeling, it almost feels like this burning, like a slow burn that's happening in you, and it's like, I can feel something changing, I feel something coming up, like I'm well aware that, like, it's like you've come to that realization, like, you know when things are going to happen, but you don't exactly know what it's going to be, and so you can feel that, you're anticipating that, and so when it happens, it's going to feel almost like, the feeling I'm getting is like really itchy, like your skin is crawling, because the intensity from it is so strong. Like, there's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it, because it's divinely guided. Like, this is a part of your destined path, is what's coming in for you, right? And so every part of your being and all your guardian angels is like in harmony of just screaming at you to do this particular thing, make this particular change, move to this particular place, travel to this particular place, hear this message, and it's going to be extremely intense. And I think at one point in your life, it kind of feels like you wanted whatever this is. It's like whatever is about to happen is something that you wanted at one point in life, and you waited around because you felt like it was supposed to happen for you, and it never did. Like, it never happened, and you're like, okay, well, if it's meant to me, then it will, and I'm just gonna keep moving forward with my life. And kind of maybe I'll just accept that I was wrong about that, or my intuition was a little bit off. And that never sat right with you. But again, what are you supposed to do other than carry on? And so this is that realization. Now is the time. So you weren't wrong. You didn't hear the message wrong. You didn't even feel the message wrong. But there was some sort of divine intervention that happened to slow that passion down, because it shouldn't have happened right then. And I think it would be, an example would be like if you felt like something was going to happen in the fall. You're like, it's going to happen in the fall. I freaking knew it. I had a vision of it. I saw it. And then it happened 2 falls later, like two years later, but it was still in the fall. You're like, oh my gosh, no wonder why, because part of it didn't even make sense. It'd be like, I felt like this was going to happen in the fall, and I had purple hair. And it's like, you don't have purple hair, but then like you move on with it, and then just randomly your friend tells you to go dye your hair. They dye it purple, you know, and it's like, oh, see, now it's like, it totally makes sense. So yeah. This is where I feel like you're feeling journeyed to go somewhere, to do something. And if it feels like this is going to be seemingly no set plan. Like, what's your plan? I don't know. I just know I should do it. Okay, but all this prep work that you've been laying down, this foundation that you've been laying down is, like I'm hearing, like paying dividends. It's paying off. Major payoff from this. And I'm hearing like the stars are aligning. And so I think when this happens, I would also, I normally never say this, but I would pay attention to the planetary alignments with regards to this, because it's significant to you for some reason. This is significant to you. And I feel like someone's helping you. Like, I feel like this is a specific person, the way that they're looking at the Hermit. I feel like this Hermit is you. And it's someone that's encouraging you to pay attention to something. It's like, maybe you would set in your mind that this, again, like something wasn't going to happen, and then someone says something to you, or they come to you and encourage you to do something, and they're like, it's like a little bug in your ear, and you're like, I don't know. They're like, come on, let's do it. And then that's what sets the ball rolling. That's what sets that wheel, you know, like in the Wheel of Fortune, or like the wheel card, the destiny, like that, they're the one that spins it for you. They're like, okay, it's go time. And again, it's with this, you know, it's a very, it is emotional for you, but with the King of Cups, I feel like he does it in a very mature, and it's not really explosive, right? He's had time to mentally process everything and say it in a way that he really means and makes sense. And so that's kind of what I see with you, is that it's just going to make sense. That's the best way I can put it. It's going to make sense. Everything about this just totally makes sense and falls into place exactly the way that it should. And that's pretty much what you have to look forward to, is that help is on the way. Okay? Help is on the way in the form of a person. And this person is basically acting in place of a guardian angel, because they unknowingly or knowingly are being guided by your guardian angels to encourage you to take this one seemingly small step towards something that's going to spin that wheel on that vision into inaction. And it's going to be really cool. It's going to be really exciting. So that's what I see for you guys, and I'll see you later. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. So you have the Lovers, and I have this fortune that kept trying to come out for your pile. So this is also for you, and the numbers on the back are 11, 28, 35, 9, 27, 1. Be happy. It's one way of being wise. Okay. So, I feel I want to do things a little different here. Contract. Feels like a karmic contract, a DNA contract is what I'm hearing. DNA contract, karmic contract, expression. Okay. So what I see for you guys is this unraveling of karma for you. Like you're letting go. We have dream and journey. Where you're freeing someone else up of karma. Like that's what's happening for you, is that you're taking care of yourself. You're fully expressing yourself and opening up to someone about how you feel and what your dreams and desires are for your life. And in turn, this is liberating someone else of something that's holding them back. So if you're currently in a relationship that's like seemingly out the door, or if you recently ended a relationship or a friendship, or there's some sort of severance in your life, any relationship around you, it doesn't have to be romantic, even though that's what I feel for some of you guys, is that this was supposed to happen in order for you to teach them a lesson, for you to serve as a messenger for them of taking better care of their own needs, because you were taking care of your needs. Like you are leading by example, essentially. Okay, so we have Page of Cups, High Priestess, so we're talking about what positive things are happening in your life, right? And I feel like there is a sense that you paid attention to the red flags, or there's a sense of saying for you to pay attention to the red flags. And her pointing to this book, I'm actually hearing like refer back to the rule book. So if this could be the Bible, right? Referring back to like biblical terms of like how to be. Or this could even be like with work relations. Again, with a relationship of like what are your terms, like putting things into your terms and giving back to yourself by applying the rules to it, like looking at your life in a black and white sense of this is what I desire, this is what I want, this is what I need, and then sticking to that and not wavering on that, right? Not wavering on what your needs are, making sure that they're met, right? And sticking to those particular standards that you've set for yourself. And so this is going to be bringing in a lot of happiness for you, because this is bringing in relationships or people or job opportunities that meet you where your needs are. And so where I see at one point you felt like you were asking too much, or you felt like you weren't able to ask because you didn't think that it would be reciprocated in the way that you wanted, you're realizing, I need to express myself, I need to stand up, I need to speak out on what it is that I really want or how I feel, so that that person can meet me halfway, right? So if you're currently in a relationship that you're wanting to stay in, then this could also be a lesson that's teaching them of how to be a better partner towards you and towards other people, because the relationship, the harmony within the relationship is going to be reflected out into relationships among other people, right? In other interpersonal relationships and just in general, because when you're happy and when they're happy, then they can spread that out towards other people, right? They're not holding this anger, resentment, or stress or worry on their shoulders. They feel confident in themselves because they're confident with you. And so you're coming to this realization it's a lot easier to express yourself than you had originally thought, or how it used to be, right? You're realizing that people are going to be able to receive you better and understand you better and give you the things that you need or that you want, simply because you're asking for it, instead of expecting or hoping that people will give that to you. Maybe you felt like at some point that you weren't so deserving of it all, and so why ask for it? It's something like that. But either way, you're realizing on a deeper level what your worth is. You're realizing too that it's okay to ask for help, and it's okay to speak up about your needs, because even in doing so, it allows people to navigate their lives and the structure of the relationship better, so that you don't necessarily have to ask for so much. Like, it could even be as if, I don't want to keep telling you that I want this, but I will tell you a few times so that you get used to it. But I do have the intention of tapering back. So I hope that you recognize these patterns in me, and you can recognize this and be more in tune, intellectually and emotionally in tune with me, so that you can do these things for me. And then from there, you can decide if this is a relationship or a partnership that you are still comfortable with. If they continue to not have your needs met, or if they exceed, right? They could be exceeding your needs now that they know. And I feel like it's a positive selfishness. It's like being more selfish with your energy and with what it is that you desire. It's like what's positive that's coming forward for you is you realizing it's okay to want more, and you're going to realize you can get that, right? Once you make that decision that I want more for whatever it is that I have, I'm going to ask for it and I'm going to get it. So that's what I see for you guys. Lastly, we have Lady, enjoy growth and reap rewards. Exactly. You're going to be rewarded for standing your ground and trusting that when you ask for things, and you hold this space for other people to meet you there, then they will. You'll be pleasantly surprised. So that's what I see for you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.